Facebook family. That's right, the Truth Session family. I am the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shapeshifter, the code breaker, coming at you live in your living color with 2,400 watts of power. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, that's right. We're back once again at another Truth Session where your thoughts really count. Yes, we declare that your thoughts really matter. And listen, we want you to dial in today. Hit that share button. Let's do that right now. Go ahead and share this feed, share the video, so that our listening audience can be a part of this, our normal listening audience, and those who have heard about us and want to tap into this. Come on and walk with us today. Listen, we want to greet you formally by saying Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum, in Hotep, Abaragani, Amani Kaka, Amani Dada, Hola, Bonjour, Konnichiwa, and greetings to all of you of other languages. Listen, under the sound of my voice, we greet you once again here at the Truth Session. And we're so glad and excited that you've joined us today. We got some powerful things in store for you. We want to talk about, going back, Palingenesia, talk about time. We're going to be dealing with the relationship between Palingenesia and mathematics. We've been hooking things up, showing you how everything fits. And today, listen, we want to jump right into this. Yes, indeed. I'm sitting in the captain's seat once again for the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Talking about Palingenesia. Oh my goodness, good to my soul. Talking about mathematics, good to my soul. And we talked about going back and making sure that we touch and tap into the correct things to change the course of our future, even our present. And I mentioned this movie and I was trying to recall it, and oh my goodness, I told you I was going to find it. Talking about the sound of thunder. Back in 2005, there was a movie called The Sounds of Thunder. Oh my goodness. Let me preface this and talk about this because it's going to walk right into what we've been dealing with. It was a short story by Ray Bradbury. In this film, a team of scientists, they were hunters going back in time to the prehistoric eras to hunt dinosaurs. Watch this. They were specifically warned not to alter anything in the past, as even the smallest changes could drastically affect the future. Oh my goodness. People have been talking about this for so long. Palingenesia. Movies, Hollywood has been tapping into it. Watch this. The characters were told to stay on the path, on a designated path, and not to touch those things outside of it. In other words, those things that are outside of your destiny, your identity, your purpose, don't touch it. Oh, yeah. Going back, Palingenesia, representing Renaissance or rebirth, going back in time, fixing those things that are necessary to tap into your future, your present, and to bring you current. Oh, Palingenesia, watch the dialogue. Oh, I'm jumping right into this. I feel this one. In the trailer, it said, life is a balance, or a delicate balance, between order and disorder. Woo! A delicate balance between order and disorder. One small disturbance, one minor infraction of nature's laws is all it takes. So what we're saying is there is the ability to go back. Palingenesia, go back in time, straighten things out, bring you courage, bring you to that place where you can affect your future. There were some things that went off course in the past, but now can go back and straighten it out. Palingenesia. It says we're taking you back. This is what the trailer was saying. So we're taking you back 65 million years to hunt the greatest predator the world has ever seen. Prehistoric times. Watch this. Remember, whatever happens, do not step off the path. The changes in evolution that you affect actually can come in ripples, oh my goodness, like dropping a pebble or a stone in the pond. It can go up in ripple effects. You will start with your climate. You will start with vegetation. And you will start with early manifestations of life if you go off the path. But the key is, having the ability to go back in time. Having the ability to go back, straighten some things out, and to get back on the path. But the thought was, do not go off the path. We're going to talk about this. Palingenesia, mathematics. Oh, I'm excited about it today. Come on, y'all. Yeah. A recycling, a retooling. Thank you, family, to those who have come out on the truth session. And I want to jump right into this. Dealing with the relationship between Palingenesia and mathematics. Palingenesia representing a rebirth, a regeneration, a going back in time, isolate, to go back, to deal with some things, straighten it out, and to move forward. See, we've been dealing with quantum principles, quantum mechanics, quantum mathematics, quantum physics, quantum entanglement, and all of it is dealing with oscillating and vacillating and shifting and being in the moment, dealing with time. Watch this. Mathematics can be explored by its metaphorical and structural integrity in levels. See, that's what Palingenesia is dealing with. It's dealing with structural levels. Things that are structured because it's going back. Touching those things that have been already structured for you. Parameters that have already been set. Called forced options. Yeah. So now we're moving back. Going back in time. Dealing with different fields because math, although listen, it's metaphorically structured and taps into Palingenesia, there are certain levels that it operates on. Because listen, those two fields are somewhat different, yet they carry the same energy, the same understanding, the same principles. Watch this. Palingenesia, which involves the idea of renewal, rebirth, or cyclical regeneration, finds its nature on the mathematical path. It's a mathematical journey. So you got to realize everything is calculated. It's calculated. Your life is calculated. Going back is calculated. Moving forward is calculated. As long as you stay on the path, guess what? It is calculated. Oh, I'm going to deal with this one. Watch this. In math, we deal with cycles, time frames, reoccurrences in the form of regeneration, processes that repeat. Watch this. Even decimal numbers, decimals repeat. Yes, they repeat in cycles. You can have a number like 0.656565 and it repeats. It represents Palingenesia. It goes back. It's going back and repeating a thing. What are we trying to get you to do? Go back and repeat. Go back and fix it. Go back and touch it. You can repeat it. You can repeat those things that have been numbered in your life, those things that have been set up for you to be prosperous, to be healthy, to be wealthy, to be wise. You can go back and repeat the process. But the key is stay on the path. Don't get off the path, because you can affect the present and the future by seeing something that you just want to handle, something that intrigues you, something that stimulates you to take you off the path, take you into a tributary. Now, Palingenesia doesn't take you into a tributary. So you got to be disciplined enough to stay on the path so that things can remain calculated. Watch this. We've been dealing with this for such a long time. Your life in cycles. The sine and cosine curve. You know, I've been dealing with this for a long time. Wait a minute. They occur in cycles. Then they repeat. Sine curve starts at 0, goes up. Its natural unit curve goes up to 1 at 90 degrees, comes back down at 0, goes back up. The wave repeats. Palingenesia. You have to see that it is a Palingenesia concept. Cosine curves starts out at 1, comes down at 90 degrees at 0, and it repeats that same cycle. Goes down to -1. It's just a cycle. It's a repeating cycle. That sounds like Palingenesia to me. So what are we trying to get you to do? Become one with yourself. Yeah, and every degree of your life, it's all about you becoming one with yourself. Whether you go into the positive degree or the negative degree, it's still a distance of 1, becoming 1. It's 1 unit called unit rate. It's a unit rate. Anytime you have a denominator of 1, it's called a unit rate. How fast can I go per 1 unit? How much do I have to spend per 1 item? It's called the unit rate. So now I'm trying to get you to become a unit. Become a unit. Go back in time and become a unit. Mathematical unit. Periodic functions, that's what they do. Repeated intervals. Watch this. We've even dealt with fractals. How many of you recall that? How things may not be just a smooth edge. They're built in fractals. How many know that our lives sometimes are not smooth? They're built in fractals. But the fractals understand that they still have a part to play in your success. They can come together and they will be fitly framed or joined together. No matter how jagged it is. No matter how bad it is. It has jagged edges. Watch this. Fractals are structured demonstrations. Watch this. There's self-similarity across different scales. So across different scales and nuances, there are self-similarities. That's how fractals come together, because of self-similarities. Each part playing an intricate role. Watch this. The roles are rebirthing roles, repeating roles, replicating the whole. And each piece is the whole. Sometimes you feel fragmented. Sometimes you feel separated from yourself. Let me remind you that you're still whole. Even in your pieces, you're still whole. You're just trying to get the pieces to come back together to be a bigger whole. Woo! Repeating number theories. Oh, I'm diving right into this. Concepts like modular arithmetic sequences. There's an arithmetic sequence, there's a geometric sequence where there's patterns. The patterns may be addition. Arithmetic sequence. There is a structured increase. A structured increase. Geometric sequence, there's a multiplication factor, but it's in a pattern. It's repeating. That's called Palingenesia. Going back in your life, meditating upon those things so that you can fix some things, straighten some things out. Listen, I spent the morning doing that, going back, talking to myself, talking to those areas that I need to go back and fix. to entertain, to speak to allow to grow and to mature. Those things that we've been doing in this season. Oh my goodness. Modular cycles, patterns, pattern recognition. That's where we get pattern recognition from. We can see things that we've bumped into before. We can recognize a pattern. And it'll bring a sense of smell, a sense of wisdom, a sense of direction, because I've seen this before. I've tapped into this before. Now it's giving me some direction, some understanding. Modular points. I have to continue to deal with this mathematics because it's all in our lives. Recursive algorithms, things that repeat, they're recursive. They're recursive because once they get to the end, they start a cycle all over again. But what it does is keeps the process going. It rebuilds, it builds, and it gets greater as it repeats. Same thing with probability. Watch this. The more you do experimental probabilities, the closer it gets to theoretical probability. What's theoretical probability? It's whatever it is. Whatever it is. If I roll a die for a number Q, what is the probability or the theoretical probability of me rolling a 1? 1 out of 6, because there's only one on the die, right? So the theoretical probability is 1 out of 6 because there's 6 numbers on the number Q or a die. Experimental probability is maybe I want to roll it 20 times and see how many times I can get a 1. Watch this. The more you roll the die or dice, the closer you get to theoretical probability. The closer you get to 1, guess what? You and I sometimes have to repeat a thing. Keep repeating it. I'm being redundant for a reason. That's right. That's what the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander talked about so long ago. I'm being redundant for a reason. So there are times that we got to be redundant. Continue to rehearse it. Continue to rehearse it. Continue to rehearse it. Even if we don't see it, trust the process. If you know it worked for him, guess what? It'll work for you. That's continue the process. Keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. Pretty soon, that experimental probability will become theoretical. It's what it is. It has to manifest because of the law of large numbers, the law of averages. It has to manifest. Guess what? You have to manifest. Just keep repeating it. Keep repeating yourself. Eventually you will show up. Yeah, will the real you stand up? Huh? Will the real you please stand up? Just keep repeating the process and the real you will show up. Recursive. Watch this. Convergence. Converge means to collapse or to come into a certain sequence, linear perspective. Convergence in sequences. Like solving problems, finding the root or the square root or the root of a cause in an equation. Watch this. Functions that are applied in an iteratively conducive manner. It keeps repeating. I'm iterating this. The more I iterate it, the closer I come to the solution. Each iteration gets you closer to rebirth. I'm repeating it. I'm finding it. It's like practicing. I'm practicing this shot every day. I'm taking 500 shots every day. I become very close to perfection because I develop muscle memory. I remember how to do it. Guess what? You're going back in time and you're repeating it over and over because you remember when you perfected you. So if you continue to practice these shots every day, free throws every day, guess what? You'll be stuck on automatic. It will be your destiny. You will hit your purpose. You'll understand what you're called to do because you're practicing it over and over and over. That's the iteration process. That's math. Now you have to see it has its foundation in Palingenesia because it's going back to repeat a thing. A rebirth, a renewal, a renaissance. Output functions. You're getting closer to your output function because of what you're putting in. Functions are those type of equations or mechanical processes that you put something in and it produces an output. The more you continue to put yourself into the machinery of who you are, the mechanism of who you are, tapping into it, going back, saying, I remember. See, I do that all the time. I remember when I did a certain thing this way and it worked. I remember when I was successful. I remember when that miracle fell on me. What was I doing at that time? What was my disposition? What was my level of positivity? When it manifested, where was I? What position was I in? Yeah. That's what we need to do. Go back and find out what position we were in. Were we in a position of receiving? Or were we in a position of rejecting everything that came our way? Palingenesia. Watch this. Population dynamics. So, when we're dealing with population, as an example, watch this. We can find out whether there's a reoccurring factor in ecology. Ecology. The study of man in its nature, in its environment. Like logic growth. There are logical growth equations and statistics describing how population overgo changes in time. Statisticians study that. How populations are going through cycles and changes over time. And now even you can look at a school system. It takes approximately 3 years to change the climate in a school system. Things will recycle. You'll get a really good group of kids going through 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Then you can get a cycle where you have to utilize more discipline, more correction, more direction, and instructions. If you don't get on top of it, guess what? It will change the climate of that school. Every 3 years, that's a cycle taking you back where things were chaotic, full of confusion. Things that are built to annihilate other things. It's a cycle. Mathematical formulas. Watch this. It's also connected to life cycles in biology. And what you have to see, I'm giving you some of those practical things to connect Palingenesia of going back in time with mathematics. It's all connected. I'm just walking you through it right now, giving you examples, showing you that in nature, in science, in real world implications that is happening, so that we don't think that everything is spooky. Everything is just conjured up and made up. No, it's happening, and it has been happening since the beginning of time. We've just forgot how to tap into it, or we've been tricked out of it. Yeah. Watch this. Biological processes such as cell regeneration. How many know how cells regenerate and replenish themselves? Yeah. Cell generation. Population growth. Watch this. Seasonal cycles. Things grow in seasonal cycles. We grow in seasonal cycles. There are times it appears that we're hitting a deficit or a shutdown or a slowdown. No, we're just in cycles. Remember I talked to you about the sine and cosine curves where now we're going below zero and we're hitting this negative aspect of the circle. But watch this, we're still moving. It's cycle. So when you're hitting that peak, ride it. When you're going down on that curve, ride it. Oh, when you get to the bottom, guess what you do? You go with the flow and ride it until you start that upward mobility again. Don't try to fight it and go back up. Try to go back up the water sled when you're supposed to be coming down. You're supposed to be going with gravity. You're supposed to be flowing with it. So that when you come out, you can have the right disposition, the right angle, the right structure, the right stability. If you fight against the natural course of things, the way you're supposed to be gliding, all it will do is bring friction, destructive interference, as opposed to constructive interference. Regenerative patterns. Watch this. Oh, I'm going to touch this timeline in a minute. But watch this. Oh my goodness. This thing is good to me. I see you, Kizzy Inspirations Queen. I see you out there, yeah. The one, the apostle, the prophet, and cosmic commander is in the house. Yes, indeed, true indeed. What's going on, Queen Stephanie? Oh. Yeah, Paul remembered. I see you, the one. Philosophy of mathematics and metaphysical rebirth. Let me go back to this one. Mathematical models of natural phenomena. The mathematical models of natural phenomena represents patterns, represents natural phenomena, represents cyclical processes. Everything is in a cycle. Everything is on a 360-degree plane. As the one that I have been sharing with you for so long, it's on a 360-degree plane. So that thing will revolve, it will orbit, and it will evolve. See, it's going to rotate or spin. But it's coming back around. But as it's spinning, guess what it's doing? It's orbiting. So you have to see that's two different cycles, but the cycles are one, because as you're spinning, where you started from in the spin, it's going to get you right back at the beginning. That same spin is they're going to meet up. It's like those windows out in space that line up for you to pass through, for astronauts to pass through. I'm on this cycle. I'm on this cycle of healing. I'm on this cycle of rebirth, this cycle of renaissance, this cycle of Palingenesia. It's a cycle. It's a mathematical cycle that you and I are on. Rest assured that things are going to work out in our favor, because that's how it's designed. See, when it doesn't work out, that means we've stepped off the path. And I told you in the movie A Sound of Thunder, they were told not to step off the path. See, they were going back to touch some things, to investigate some things, to straighten some things out, and to come back to the future or the present, so that their future can be intact. But don't get off the path. Watch this. The philosophy of math and metaphysical rebirth. On a more abstract level, watch this. Mathematical structures are often seen as eternal and what? Timeless. Eternal and timeless. Infinity. The infinity symbol. Eternal and timeless. Transcending this physical reality. So mathematics transcend this physical reality. So that's why so many people, quote unquote, struggle with it, because it transcends the natural reality of things. And then what people tend to do is tap into the negative aspect of life by fearing it, or by allowing someone else to cause them to fear mathematics. And so you have to think about it. All you're doing when you deal with mathematics is going back in time, tapping into those things that were structured back then, and moving straight ahead. Math deals with it. So there is a metaphorical connection between Palingenesia and mathematics, but there's also a direct link, because in a metaphorical way, we can connect so many different things to it. We can connect space to it. We can connect imagination to it. We can imagine some things. We can dream some things. We can superposition in certain aspects of our life. We can put things right on top of one another and see how it fits. And tap into the infinite possibility of it. Infinite possibility. The one taught on that, infinite possibilities. So listen, because one thing did not work out in your life, doesn't mean your life was supposed to end, that other things were not going to work out. Because there are infinite possibilities. That's what Palingenesia is. It gives you the ability to tap into infinite possibilities. Maybe you missed out on this career over here, but there was another one waiting on you to be just as or even more successful in this career. Don't let people or anything else get you down and tell you, well, you missed out over here, so you won't be successful over here. So many things that I could have done over here, but it just didn't work out over here, so I tapped into it over there, and it all worked out for me. Because all things work together for my good. Because I know how to love myself and tap into the almighty ones. And tap into where I'm called according to my purpose. Oh, my metaphysical rebirth, my mathematical structure transcends reality, which takes me right to the intersection, the crossing of Palingenesia in mathematics. You will go from the philosophical and the metaphorical aspect of it, and they'll cross, they'll intersect and bring similarities because they're built on the same principles. The beginning, watch this. On a Platonic, we're talking about chemistry and physics. The Platonic philosophy, watch this. Math forms in a timeless, ideal realm. So that's the Platonic aspect of it. It exists in a timeless, timeless realm. Timeless, ideal realm. Now you have to see, we talked about time. Time exists when you tap into that place where it needs to exist. So time is not on a linear perspective. There are times you've got to tap out of the linear aspect of moving forward, as it seems that you're moving forward day by day. Yet because of things that are not on just a regular time scale, we go in and out of it. We tap into time frames up here, time frames over here, time frames over here, so that we can continue to stay on this Palingenesia path. So is time linear? Not at all. Time will take you into dimensions to get everything done you need to get done so that you can stay on this path and not stray. Watch this. This form can be, watch this, interpreted as continual manifestation. Oh my goodness. Somebody save me. So on a Platonic level, science level, it states that it is a continual manifestation realm or level or realm or path. So what are we doing day by day? Manifesting. Day by day, what are we doing? Manifesting. Day by day, we're going through a rebirthing process so we can do what? Manifest. So we can manifest a recurring truth. That's what it is. What is truth? How things really appear. So I'm manifesting truth. I'm recurring truth. I'm causing truth to reoccur, to do again, with the implication that what was done was inadequate or impermanent. I'm remanifesting time so that I can perfect it. I can perfect my craft, perfect my thoughts, perfect my energy, perfect my love, perfect my discipline, perfect my prosperity, perfect my ability to help somebody else to prosper and to be healed and to be delivered and to be made whole. I'm perfecting it day by day. I'm perfecting me so I can help perfect somebody else. Because I realized that I didn't manifest just for me. It's the Palingenesia method. I'm fixing some things so I can move forward. But on my path, I'm helping others fix some things. I'm getting to a place where I can continue to move forward so I can connect to somebody else. It's all about connection. It's all about molecules and cells coming together to connect so we can continue to give birth. To give birth to rebirth, renaissance, renew, retool, rededicate, reallocate, realign, reposition, restore, redirect, rekindle, and in some cases refuse. Oh, wait a minute. Not to just reject some things, but to refuel. To fuse. Come together. Refuse. Bring about some heat, some transfusion to bring about some heat so that I can heal some things. I can deliver some things. I can cause some things to be made whole. Watch on the cosmic and mathematical level. Watch this. Even Palingenesia is connected to our good friend they talk about Pythagoras. Believing that the cosmos operates according to mathematical principles. Yeah, he was right. Kepler and all these other Descartes, all these other mathematicians. Yeah. All of them. Benjamin Banneker. All of them tapped into the ecology of mathematics, the repeating of things. Studying man's environment. And the function of man isn't in his environment. Having the ability to understand how the universe operates mathematically. In order for you to do that, you've got to go back to see how things will operate so you can move forward and know how things are supposed to operate in the future. You got to go back. Cosmic regeneration. That's all it is a type of Palingenesia. Because there are eternal laws that govern the universe mathematically. Geometry that governs the universe. There are certain things that automatically prove themselves, actions that automatically prove themselves in mathematics without you having to do anything, because that's the nature of it. There are certain things called proofs in mathematics. It is a Palingenesia method. It teaches you how to go back and say, if, then. They're called if-then statements. If this, then that. Wait a minute, we've been dealing with that causality, cause and effect. See how everything is connected? So if this happened back then this must occur up here. If I was this powerful in eternity past, then I must be powerful or more powerful in eternity present and eternity future. Going back, a reoccurrence. Governing the universe. Mathematical laws. Teaching us every day how to get up, how to breathe in a rhythmic form. All mathematics. All mathematics. How to discover. How to tap into who we are. How we live, move, and have our being. How we interact with people. It's all mathematically inclined. Palingenesia. Listen, we related to ourselves before we ever related to anybody else. I'm almost done with you. Watch this. There is a mathematical symmetry and rebirthing. Symmetry. Things that are even on one side. Of course, even on the other side. It's a reflection. And I've been dealing with this lately. Dealing with those, with what we call in math, rigid body transformations. Those things that don't change shape. They just relocate to a certain area. Wow. Palingenesia, staying on the path, not changing anything. So there's a symmetry involved, a mirroring, reflection. I'm going back looking at how things were constructed years ago, so I can reflect it on this side of the mirror. See, if you look at a mirror and you're standing 2 feet away from the mirror, guess what? You're going to be standing 2 feet away when you look at it in the mirror. On that side, you'll be 2 feet away from, guess what? The wall of symmetry, the line of symmetry, which represents our origin. I'm going back to my origin to see how things were constructed. And here's the most powerful thing we can think about. We have new origins all the time. New origins. I have to go to my new place of origin and start from here. And start starting over. After I figured out where I went wrong, here's my new starting point, my new origin. Origin is like the quantum theory, quantum mechanics, electrons, protons, things that are rapidly moving. They have new origins every time they move. Which means it's hard for you to figure me out. Just when you thought you had me, guess what? I've moved locations. I've regenerated myself. Just when people thought they had the one, guess what? He regenerated himself. Just when they thought they were going to take the one out, guess what he did? He regenerated himself and moved to a new location. Retooled himself, restructured himself, realigned himself so that he can keep moving. Because that's what his path or his past called for. Keep moving. In geometry, particular constant regenerations and renewals. New groupings in algebra. Algebra represents, oh, here it is. I got it in my notes. I'm talking and got it right here in my notes. Rotation, reflection, translation. Those are rigid body things. So that's telling you we can go back with rigid body motion without altering or changing anything on the path. Rigid body, that's what it is. Solid. Rotation, I was talking about that earlier, how things rotate. Yeah. The group theory. Groupings. How things reflect. How things translate. Translation only means move from one spot to the other without changing the shape of it. Without changing the angle of how it was constructed. You're just moving it a certain distance. Leaving the structure unchanged. Listen, I want you to go back, but leaving your structure unchanged. Transformation. Going through metamorphosis. But yet the original you remains intact. Your metamorphosis is your new origin. Tapping into your new version of who you are. Same structure, but new version. Representing a kind of birth, renewal, transformation. But watch this. Oh my goodness. Transformation geometry. Geometrical reflections and translations and rotations. That's what we are doing. Translating back to a time. And while we're translating, guess what we're doing? We're just rotating. Because we have to see what's around us. What was affected on this path? As I'm going back in time, I'm going back in my mind. I'm on this 360-degree cycle so I can see everything around me. I can see what I affect. I can see what I got off course. So when I go back and straighten this out, I know what to do when I started moving forward. I remember I touched this and I shouldn't have touched this. I spoke to this person when I should have kept quiet. So now that I fixed it, when I get back on this path, I know to be quiet. I know not to share this. And see, I can talk about this because I did the exact same thing. I was talking to the one on how I was creating a standard in a company I was working for AutoCAD. And I gave them a standard, yet they rejected it. But came back the next meeting, my counterpart, my brother, for information purposes only, took the same idea, changed it around with the exact same concepts, numbers, math, changed it around, and made it a standard and got credit for it. The one said, when you get back on that path, and I'm paraphrasing it, never reveal it until it's time for it to manifest. It'll show that you came up with the idea, you constructed this. So I had to go back on that path when I spoke and gave it away to fix that, so when I moved forward, I never did it again. Palingenesia. That's going back in time. Fix that idea. Mathematical transformations. I'm preserving the essential properties. Oh yeah. I'm preserving the essential properties. Wait a minute. That's the word perfection. I'm perfecting me. When they say, well, nobody's perfect, I beg to differ. It just depends on how you place it in context. Yeah, I am perfect. I seek to go back and perfect myself every day. Well, what does that mean? Perfection doesn't mean incapable of making mistakes. It means lacking in no essential details. That's what it means. That's what perfect means in the Greek. Lacking in no essential details. It doesn't mean not making a mistake. It means lacking in no essential detail. So right here, there's a geometrical transformation that says it preserves the essential properties, the essential details, symbolizing mathematical Palingenesia. Oh my goodness. Yeah. A rebirthing. I see you, Queen Octavia in the house. A rebirthing. I think it takes some hits, yeah. Some hard knocks to force you to search for those other possibilities. Yeah. I hear you, Queen Octavia. The one said, must become an anomaly. Yes, indeed. You have to become an anomaly. Same thing happened in the movie The Matrix. There was an anomaly, a reoccurrence. The cat appeared twice. There was an anomaly in the system, a reoccurrence. Palingenesia. Y'all better stop. Yeah. Cell related. I see your pound cell related. Yeah. Rigid relocation. I see you. I see you, the one. Yeah. I see you. Little sister. Lalisa. Little sister. Greetings. Like a snake shedding its skin. It has to build a new nest and move differently in its environment because it's bigger now. So it doesn't fit where, oh, come on here, Kizzy Inspiration Queen. It doesn't fit where it used to. And now it can see its surroundings from a different perspective. Rebirth, you better stop up in here. Come on here. Yeah, being connected. Because it was talking about this. Oh my goodness. She said she was talking about this on her last live last night. Greetings, Priestess Lavelle. Gratitude unto you. Man, it's going down up in a pound transformation, the one. Yeah, it's happening up in here. I'm almost done with you, but man, I'm on fire up here. Talking about pound new origin. That's right, the one new origin. Every time you move forward, you got a new origin. You begin to keep on beginning. You said once before, you arrive to keep on arrive. That's called Palingenesia. That's called rebirth, renewing, restructuring, retooling, going back to the origin. 0-0. Her new place. I'm looking to go to a new place every day. I don't want to be stale and stuffed up. I want to become an abnormality, as the one said. I want my Palingenesia system to be intact. I want my equations to be intact. I want to be able to solve every day for a new solution. I want my fixed point to be stable. That's right, we all have fixed points in math. Fixed points, our origin. It's a mathematical fixed system where we reiterate and iterate. It's an iterating process to do over and over and over, signifying a newness, a new behavior. a new thought, a new confidence. Yeah. Maybe you weren't as confident yesterday, but today has a new origin. You can be super confident today. I don't have to go back and look at the negative side of it and say, listen, maybe I didn't get it right yesterday, but today is a new day. I don't have to stay there. I got to get to the new me. I got to love on the new me. The new me is crying out to come out. Don't hold the new you inside. Yeah. Don't hold the new you inside. My last piece. Dynamical systems. Dynamical systems. Certain initial conditions lead to trajectory. See that? A dynamic system or dynamical system. Certain processes, things that we go through lead to a trajectory. Wait a minute. Depending on the speed and the height, guess what? You're going to land at a certain place. That's a trajectory. That's a system. What doesn't Palingenesia catapults you to another place? It catapults you back in time. Listen, when you use Palingenesia, when you go back, guess what? You don't slowly go back. It catapults you there. Why? Because now you have the information that have been formed on the inside. It takes you there. Yeah, I'll take you there. It's a fixed point. It's a restructuring. It's a dynamical system. It's a repeating cycle. Things repeat. Sometimes we don't recognize it, but things repeat throughout our lives. Throughout our day, things repeat. I take time to recognize it. It's repeating. It's going over and over so that I can get the best one of me. So guess what? I keep regenerating myself all day long. Woo. I get to orbit around me. I get to revolve around me. If I didn't get it right in the first class, I can get it right in the second class. If they didn't just quite get it right in the second class, guess what? I can hit them in the third class. Oh, they're going to get all of me in the third class because I practice in the first and second class. But wait a minute, when I get to the last one, that's that breathing place. I always tell my last class of the day, oh, you are the refreshing class. I get to breathe in it. You're my breathtaking class. I get to take a deep breath and renew right here. You get the best one of me. Oh, I've tried everything. I've tried the left. I've tried the right. I've tried to perfect it all day. But when I get to you, guess what? You get the perfected me. So the first shall be last and the last shall be first. You get the first one of me, although you're last. Because you built to last. You're on the periodic table. Your nature, watch this, aligns with the cyclical rebirthing when you go back. It's the nature of what it is. When you go back, you get on a cyclical nature. Because once you've returned, it's returning back in a cycle, right? So when it starts returning back, guess what? It's in a cycle. I'm cycling this. I'm renewing as I move forward. I'm spinning forward, but not out of control. I'm spinning to recycle, to keep retooling. I'm encouraging you to retool every day. Recycle. Where do you think they get the idea from? Paper, plastic. What are they doing? Recycling it. Oh, that's Palingenesia. They're going back and recycling this stuff, retooling it, so they don't be wasteful. Guess what we're doing in our lives? We're going back, recycling, retooling, so we don't be wasteful with what has been entrusted in our hands. Oh my goodness, man, let me touch this timeline. But before I get out of here, I got to show you, I have to recycle and retool with this nectar by our very own KD Royal Rain. That's right, Songbird. I'm going to tap into this rebirthing, this retooling right here, so I can be ready for next time. Hello, somebody. Oh, yeah. ready to get up out of here. Yeah, recycling. Come on. Here we get new purpose. Get the inspiration to it again. Come on, y'all. We get ready to get out of y'all. Get ready to take it on up out. Come on. Take it on up out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Come on. Yes, indeed, Songbird. Yeah. Come on. Just heard from the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker, baby, coming at you live in the number with 2,400 watts of power in this hour. Listen, the last time I checked, y'all too sweet to be sour. Listen, make sure you get some rest at night so you can go up like a tower. When you're into the truth session, you gotta use some brain power. Listen, if you have got an opportunity to donate, please do so before we get up out of here. The donation message is on the timeline. Come on, tap into this flow. We need you to flow, grow, so you can understand some more. Hello, somebody. This ought to hold you. Hold what you got. Beautiful. Concentrate upon it. Ponder over it. What about all things? Palingenesia. Reverse, retool, renew, go back in time, be mathematically in time. But most of all, govern yourselves accordingly. And until next truth session, we love you, we appreciate you. So while they go, fish, they come.